Hey everyone, welcome to Quick Break Games, and today we're going to be ranking LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga's Episode 7, The Force Awakens, from worst to best. So we're going to be taking the 5 levels that make up that movie, and we're going to be ranking them. So let's not waste any more time, and let's go ahead and get started with number 5. At number 5, we have Low Flying Garbage. As almost always, we have a vehicle level at the bottom of this list. This level takes place during the first half of the movie where Rey and Finn pilot the Millennium Falcon to escape from the First Order on Jakku. This is a recreation of the level called Nema Outpost from 2016's LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. The beginning of this level has you flying around Jakku, where you're required to take out several enemy TIE fighters. There's a lot of mini-kits and level challenges to do here, and then there's a section where you fly through a Star Destroyer, and that's pretty much the whole level. There's just simply not much to this one. I think they could have added another area or two to fly around in just to flesh the level out a little bit more. This definitely feels like a filler level to me, like they needed a vehicle level for episode 7 or something. I don't know. This is actually one of those rare times where I think that the 2016 game did something better than this one. The Nema Outpost level in LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens had a better and longer vehicle section, and back then it was only part of the level, not the entire thing like it is here. But yeah, I don't have much more to say about this level because there's really not much to it. Low Flying Garbage is a vehicle level that's too short and could have used an on-the-ground section, I think, at the beginning to make it worthwhile. Unfortunately, it doesn't, which is why I'm calling Low Flying Garbage a garbage level and putting it at number 5. So at number 4, we have Star Killer Queen. This is the 4th level of The Force Awakens, appropriately in the number 4 spot in this list. Now, story-wise, this takes place towards the end of the movie, where Han Solo, Finn, and the gang are infiltrating Starkiller Base and are taking on Captain Phasma. This is a remake of the Starkiller Sabotage level from the 2016 game. So this one's towards the bottom of my list, in large part because the entire level takes place in one circular area, so there's not much exploration here at all. There are some side areas to find in free play to get mini-kits and stuff, but this is a pretty basic level design overall. The level starts off by having you take out several stormtroopers to lure Captain Phasma out, and once she enters the arena, the boss fight begins. And I gotta say, this boss fight is an improvement, I would say, over the original version, in my opinion. The game has you use traps to defeat her, which I thought was pretty clever. Of course, there's not a crazy amount of depth here or anything. You're essentially grabbing one of the blue batteries, plugging it into one of the traps, then waiting for Phasma to walk into it. It's simple, but definitely a change of pace from the other boss fights. I was thinking it almost feels like a simplified LEGO version of the Mr. Freeze boss fight from Batman Arkham City, with how you have to avoid being seen by Phasma. I'm probably the only one who made that connection, but I thought that was kind of interesting. And then once you finally defeat her, you walk her into the center room, and the level pretty much ends there. This is an okay level with a decent boss fight that I found more unique than the original version, which is why I'm going to put Starkiller Queen at number 4. At number 3, we have Reap What You Solo. So what do you know, the 3rd level is making it in the number 3 spot. So this level takes place on the Aravana, which was the scene shortly after Finn and Rey meet Han Solo for the first time in the movie. Here you'll be making your way through the ship as you run away from Rathtars to make your escape on the Millennium Falcon. This is the new version of the level called the Aravana in the original LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens game. So at least in terms of the Force Awakens movie, I would say this level probably feels the most like a classic LEGO game level. It's lengthy, and it's mostly made up of rooms separated by long corridors. It almost feels like a maze at times, since a lot of the areas look kind of similar. There's a lot of puzzle solving and variety in this one. You have to sort of figure out how to progress through each room. It's not just defeat X number of enemies to proceed. It also makes good use of co-op if you're playing with 2 players, as each player is separated for some of the level, so you're kind of each doing your own thing. I do wish they would have added some more Rathtar action though. In the Force Awakens game, you had to deal with them significantly more, and here they don't show up nearly as much. So overall, I don't really have much bad to say about this one. It's just a really solid level that I feel recreates the movie scene in LEGO form very well. I just liked 2 other levels a little bit more, which is why I'm putting Reap What You Solo right in the middle at the number 3 spot. Okay, so at number 2 we have First Order of Business. This is one of the better levels of The Force Awakens and probably the game as a whole. This takes place near the beginning of the movie where Poe gets captured by the First Order and Finn uses the fact that he's a stormtrooper to help both of them escape. This level was originally called Escape from the Finalizer in LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. So the level design here is awesome. It feels very open-ended as there's lots of different hallways and even different floors to explore. It makes replaying it in free play all the more fun since there's so many extra areas that you didn't have access to before. I also like how at the beginning Poe walks around handcuffed. You can freely uncuff yourself in order to shoot or do whatever you need to do. It doesn't hurt you gameplay wise, but it's a little nice touch that they didn't need to do, but it really adds to the level's story. It also adds an optional stealth aspect, which I always love. This level just has tons of paths that you can take to reach the end of the level, and there's plenty of stormtroopers to keep you busy wherever you go. Now at the end, you ultimately reach the hangar where you steal a TIE fighter, and the level closes there. This is simply a top tier LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga level. It's got some length, it's one of the larger levels with tons of hallways and environments to explore on subsequent playthroughs, and it's just a blast to play. For these reasons, I'm putting First Order of Business at number 2. Alright, so at the number 1 spot we have Destroying Starkiller. The final level of The Force Awakens had to be in the number 1 spot. So obviously this is the finale of the movie where Starkiller Base is blowing up and Rey and Kylo Ren have their first lightsaber showdown. This level was simply called the finale in the 2016 game. So here in the Skywalker Saga, this one starts off with a vehicle section where you gotta destroy different things on Starkiller Base while getting bombarded by the First Order. But after that, the level then transitions to a more traditional on-the-ground level. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the only level in the entire game that has both vehicle and on-foot sections? I really wish they would have done that more. But anyway, they throw you straight into the lightsaber fight with Kylo Ren, and the actual lightsaber duel pretty much works like the other lightsaber fights throughout the game, but this one has multiple parts. So you fight Kylo Ren the first time, then the level opens up and lets you explore the snowy forest of Starkiller Base just a little bit. You get to fight stormtroopers, look for mini-kits, stuff like that. Then there's a second lightsaber duel. The game recreates the scene where Rey pulls the lightsaber towards her, which I thought was a nice touch. So after that second fight, you get to do a little bit more exploring before entering the third and final phase of the Kylo Ren boss fight. From there, you take out his health, and that's a wrap on this level and The Force Awakens in general. So just like the First Order of Business that I put in the number 2 spot, this is definitely a top tier level as well. You have both vehicle and on-foot sections covering both aspects of Skywalker Saga's gameplay. You have a little bit of a traditional levels gameplay when you're fighting the stormtroopers and solving some puzzles to get to Kylo Ren. And then obviously you have the boss fight lightsaber gameplay when you're battling Kylo. All of this gives this level a solid length as well, which I think is very important, especially in this game when you have some levels that only take like 2 or 3 minutes. So Destroying Starkiller Base is among the best of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga's levels, and the best of The Force Awakens, which is why I'm putting it at number 1. Okay, so that is my ranking of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga's The Force Awakens, so let me know in the comments below what your ranking would be. I always enjoy reading all of those, and also try to give your reasonings for some of your rankings as well. It's always fun to read. And other than that, like this video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Break Games.